The legendary Steve Jobs was asked the secret of his tremendous productivity. What he said took everyone by surprise. He shared that every day on waking up in the morning, he would think, supposing today I am going to die. Supposing today is my last day. What would my priorities be? If I would not do some activity, it means it is of lower priority. Let me focus on the more important tasks. Steve Jobs, however, would have probably been surprised to know that this art of thinking is a regular recommended one in spirituality. दो बातन को भूली मत, जो चाहसी कल्याण, नारायण एक मौत को दूजे श्री भगवान. This poet Saint Narayan says, if you wish to achieve welfare, don't forget two things. What do you want us to remember? God? Well, everyone knows we are supposed to remember God. He says, Narayan ik maut ko. First of all, remember your death and then remember God. Why in the world? Because otherwise we will keep postponing. I know I should do, kar lenge. This disease of procrastination results in us squandering away all the graces that we have received. That is why, to counter it, remember your death. One man came to Saint Eknath and said, Maharaj, kya kare? I try so hard to take my mind to God as you instruct, but the mind just doesn't stay in the Lord. What is the remedy, Maharaj? Sant Eknath looked at him from head to foot and foot to head and said, you are talking about the mind not staying in God. What I am seeing is really worrisome. You are going to die in 7 days. That man was blown off his feet. This Samarth saint is saying like that. Possibly he is Trikaldarshi, he can see into my future and he is sharing I'll die in 7 days. He fell at the feet of the Sant and said, Maharaj, please save me, what can I do? The saint said, look, death is inevitable. Do one thing. You sort out all your matters and come to me on the last 7th day. That man returned. Now his perspective on life and the world changed. When he has only 7 days to live, how does it matter which political party is in the lead? How does it matter whether his neighbor has got a bigger car than him or not? These kinds of prapanch, all these worldly thoughts disappeared from his mind. Slowly the rag and the dvesh, attachment and aversion started evaporating. He reached Sant Eknath on the 7th day. Maharaj, today is my last day. Please tell me what should I do? I am at your mercy. The saint said, are you able to think of God today? Hare Maharaj, I am not forgetting him for a moment. Sant Eknath said, do you know why? Because you are thinking today is my last day. It has changed the perspective of your intellect. Sant Eknath said that is how this intellect is, like a vessel. Whichever knowledge we lift up, it gets activated and the concurrent sentiments get created in the mind. He then shared, look, every day when I wake up, I think, supposing today was my last day, what would I do? With this piece of knowledge in my intellect, I am able to remember God always. This is the art of how to move ahead in life with speed, putting aside carelessness. The problem is, we people keep on postponing. We should take a leaf out of the book of King Dashrath. He had such opulence. His name was Dashrath because his Rath chariot would go in 10 directions. He was also an Atirathi. In Indian history, charioteers who could fight 1,000 warriors were called Maharathis, and those who could fight 1,000 Maharathis were called Atirathis. There have been just a handful of Atirathis in history, and Dashrath was one of them. Beyond that, he had the privilege that in his human form, whenever he wanted, he could go to Swarg, the celestial abodes, and sit on half the throne of Indra. And Ram, Purna Brahma, became his child. Such great privilege that Dashrath, once while combing his hair, he found a few white hair over his ear. Shravana Samipa Bhay Sit Kesa Manahu Jaratha Panu Asa Upadesa. He started thinking, my, this body is made of mud, and the mud has started deteriorating. I must now leave all this opulence and move in the direction of Atma Kalyan. Nripa Yuvaraja Rama Kena Dehu Jivan Janama Labha Kena Lehu. Let me now hand over the kingdom to Ram and go and do my sadhana. That was his wisdom. Just seeing a few white hair, he became detached. God gives us so many indications that life is temporary. We must take them, and if we wish to progress with great speed on waking up every day, like Steve Jobs and Sant Eknath, think, if today was my last day, what would I prioritize? Let me focus on that.
That we can never recover in our life. A stone, after it has been thrown into the valley, words, after they have been spoken, an opportunity, once it is missed, and time, once it has gone. Considering the average lifespan of a human being today to be about 70 years, 17 multiplied by 12 is 840. Now that's how many months we have in our life to live in this world. And if life is represented by a jar and those 840 months by the marbles in the jar, every year 12 marbles are being thrown out of the jar. Last year 12 marbles have gone as well. Gone forever, never to come back again. Look at how many marbles you now have in the jar to make a difference, to leave a mark, to stand apart. Utilize your time well, and your time will treat you well, leading you into an overall sense of well-being. In the new year to come, invest in taking care of your body. Invest in nurturing and nourishing your relationships. Invest in finding and discovering your purpose, your passion, your calling in order to enhance your professional growth. Invest in pursuing and cultivating a meaningful, deep spiritual connect. And for some reason, if you found yourself stuck in any of these, some of these, or all of these areas in the last year, the new year brings a fresh opportunity to press the refresh button, refresh the page of your life, and live well. Because at the end of the day, remember, we are all just stories. And make sure that yours is an inspiring